Hello everyone and welcome to Sunburned. Albino is showing off blueprints. Now I am not a noob to this, and I don't know how long-winded of a thing this is going to be. I made a review of this game already. I have like 51 hours in it. It's absolutely an incredible puzzle game, and I just feel like I haven't done enough of it on my channel. So what I'm going to do is start a new game to do a new profile. Look at that, dude. Day 56, 51 hours. 65 coin allowance, like we've made some strides in that one. I just want to do like a day from the beginning, from the perspective of someone who's played a ton of this game but is not going to spoil anything in regard to the playthrough. Like, I want to use this as sort of an introductory thing, not use any knowledge that I shouldn't have at this point in a fresh file, and just like go through a day in blueprints just to more clearly show off like what kind of a special time we're dealing with here. So if you don't know the story, it's just you have inherited this mansion, but the inheritance is contingent upon you solving the puzzles within. You need to reach the elusive room 46, which is not on the floor plan that we were about to pick up. So we have to discover the secret of the manor. And as you can see, there's my grid here. You can see there's 45 slots in that grid, including the entrance hall and the antechamber over there at the top. And what we need to do is we need to draft randomized floor plans that lead to that northern area up there. And in doing so, collect like consumables, solve puzzles, discover clues about the whereabouts of stuff. And it's all very insanely engrossing and amazing. So we're going to start by drafting right here in the middle here. We got a choice between a bedroom, a closet, and a hallway. I would put the closet here. You have 3 entrances to start with, so it's okay to block off one of them right out of the way if it's going to give you items that are going to improve your run, potentially. So we got 1 gem, and then, oh, we got the running shoes. Occasionally save steps when traveling longer distances across the estate and grounds. So the steps, you can see those in the top left. Those are our energy. Each time we enter a room, we lose 1 step. These running shoes are going to mitigate that a little bit. And so what you need to do is you have to reach the aforementioned room 46 before you run out of steps. Whatever means necessary at your disposal to make that happen. So let's go to the left here. And now we have these 3. We got parlor, storeroom, and lavatory. These 2 are both dead ends. Storeroom will give you 1 key, 1 gem, and 1 coin. All 3 of these resources are extremely necessary, mostly keys and gems. But gold as well for buying stuff later. And then you have parlor, which is the only room that has another exit. So this is the only room we could pick if we want to keep going in this direction. So that's what I'm going to pick. Like, I'm going to explain stuff, but I'm still going to play as if I don't have any, like, secret knowledge. Alright, so this is the parlor game. If you look at this, it explains it. That's just an introductory letter. And then you see that these are the 3 rules of the game. There will always be at least 1 box which displays only true statements. There will always be at least 1 box which displays only false statements. Only 1 box has a prize within. The other 2 are always empty. These are the rules that will persist every time you draft this room. And every time you draft this room in future runs, there will be a different puzzle associated with this. It'll be the same kind of thing, but there will be different variations. So here we have the gems are on the desk. We have the gems are in this box. And we have the gems are on the floor. Okay, this is like toddler level. I don't remember it being this easy the first question. But so, it's just making sure you understand the rules. So we know, based on the rules, the gems will always be in 1 box. Now, 2 of these statements purport that the gems are in a place other than a box. So we know that these 2 boxes, the gems are on the desk, and the gems are on the floor, are both lies, which means the only other statement has to be true. The gems are in this box. Open the box. And you get 2 gems right there. The logic in this gets a lot deeper, and you can explore many more sort of logical avenues of solving these things and figuring out how different statements counteract each other to figure out which statements are true and which statements are lies, but that one is obviously a very base example. Alright, let's see what we have here. Now, this bedroom would draft me into the closet, which would be a dead end. That door does not open like a new route through the closet. That's just a sealed off area. So this functions like a dead end. Lavatory, as we know, is a dead end. Pantry is the only one that goes this other way, so that's the one that I would pick. So let's pick up this banana. Let's get these 4 coins. See a note here saying, Bridget, please pick up some more fruit before Friday, as we have just been informed that we may have an extra guest exploring the house next week. 50 steps should be more than enough, so I think an even spread would be ideal. 5 apples, 5 bananas, 5 oranges. So according to this, it looks like 5 apples, 5 bananas, and 5 oranges have a chance to be in any given room of the house, depending on what you draft. Or at least that's the maximum that there can be, perhaps. I don't know exactly the logic behind that. But alright. So now here we have 2 dead ends again, dude. The dead ends are coming fast and furious. And you do want to draft these at some point, because then they stop cluttering up your draws later when they might be detrimental. But you see here we also have the West Wing Hall, and this is going to be really good for opening up multiple paths in either direction. So we're going to do that. And then we'll start going this way. This is a dead end. This is where we want to have a dead end room up here. And we did get the storeroom. The other choice, the lavatory, keeps showing up. We could get that out of the pool. It would be nice to. I don't know why we keep seeing that one specifically. And then you also have the boudoir, which has another entrance or exit, so we would want to save that for a different area. Storeroom, very useful. Give me that key, give me that gem, give me that coin. Especially since we have no keys as of this point. Very good to do that. Alright, now we can continue to go this way, or we can go back the other way and try and fill out some of these other rooms. You will have to be mindful of your step counters, so you don't want to do too much backtracking. But I still think it's worth it in this instance. So let's see what we got. If anything, we could just like close something off over here. We have the guest bedroom here that could give us plus 10 steps to go back and start going the other way. Or we have the walk-in closet, which is just like a better version of the closets. It's going to give us 4 items, but it costs 1 gem to draft, which we have 4 of. Or we have the observatory, which is the only thing here that's not a dead end. And it is a +1 little star icon for each time you've drafted observatory. Now, we're not supposed to know what that is yet. But just for the fact that it leads somewhere else, this is what I would choose to draft. And now we've entered the observatory. You can take a look at this book, the fixed stars, constellations. Depending on the number of stars that can be seen in the sky on any given day, different constellations of various sizes may be visible. And you can see that each constellation you can see in the sky will offer you some kind of boon. So 1 star is going to give you 1 gold, 2 stars will give you 2 trunks to get added to the entrance hall, 3 stars is 3 steps, 4 stars is 1 gem, 5 stars rooms with 4 doors or more common today, etc. There's a lot of examples. So that's interesting, but let's explore this room further. We know this is an observatory, we know that we want to be viewing stars. You can see that there is a giant telescope in the room. It only makes sense that we want to finagle this out so that it is looking out that window. Alright. But now this wheel only controls left and right movement, as you can see. But there's more of the room to explore. Like this extremely low riding staircase, dude, a wheelchair could ride up here. That is very accommodating. Oh, and we see that we have another wheel here, presumably to control vertical movement. Exactly. Okay, well, we want to orient this so that it goes out the window. And so that when we move it more to the right, it doesn't bump into this structure that we're underneath. So let's come back here. Do it again. And boom. That's a puzzle that, like, basically anybody would solve their first time in here. We can now look through the telescope. And you can see North Star gained 1 coin. Very good. Now, there may be more to rooms that meet the eye. You may miss things your first time going through rooms. I'm going to be staying true to my first playthrough, and I'm going to try not to notice things that I know that I didn't notice the first time I went through them. So we're going to go here. Alright, we have Chapel, Nook, and Commissary. Both Nook and Commissary lead to a dead end because they're flipped the wrong way. And you can't rotate them. There are things that will allow you to rotate them, but most of the time you can't rotate them. So these are both dead ends. They might still be worth doing. But you see here we have the Chapel, which is the only one that also goes to the right, but it has a negative effect. Being a red room, you'll notice negative effects. Whenever you enter Chapel, you will lose 1 gold. Now, gold is a precious resource in your first few runs, because you will get almost none of it. So is that worth being able to continue to explore to the right? If we did do a dead end here, we could still take the West Wing route and hopefully draft rooms that will still lead us all the way around to the right and down the corner. But that is a bit of a risk, and maybe wouldn't actually be able to occur. I think I will take the Chapel here. Alright, we look around here. We can see the Chapel in all of its glory. Got these little stained glass windows here, depicting various angel females. They appear to be in some kind of order with the Roman numerals. You got the IV over there, you got the VI over there, you got 3, you got 2. So somebody observant could make something of that, even if it's not necessarily pertinent to our current situation. Alright, as you go through rooms, you want to be looking for loosely discarded consumables. They could be on the ground, they could be on a chest. Find a key, an errant gem here or there if you're lucky. We have no such luck this time around. Let's continue on our merry way, dude. I feel like this is a very good use of my time since I'm waiting like 35 more minutes for Expedition 33 to come out. Okay, we have Den, Patio, and Security. 2 multi-exit rooms, which is very nice. The patio costs a gem. It will spread a gem in each green room, but this is the only green room that we have. So it would make more sense to use this when you have more green rooms. Then you've got Security, which costs a gem. You can view inventory of all items currently in the house. This effect doesn't sound that necessary on paper. But that's the thing with some of these rooms, is that they have other things going on that they're not telling you about as well. And then you have the Den here, which is just another gem. We're good on... I mean, you're never really good on gems. But we can afford to spend a gem requirement on something like Security, or would we rather do Den to get +1 gem to really set ourselves right there? I'll go ahead and put Den. I think that's a decision I would have made in my first run, to try and stack up gems as a resource. But the significance of rooms may not be readily apparent as you draw them. Sometimes you just gotta get in there and see what's up. Alright, this room's got a bunch of clocks in it. And there are multiple stuffs going on. I don't see... or multiple exits, I mean. I don't see any consumables. So let's go shave off this dead end here. If we get the lavatory again, I'm getting rid of it here. Oh, and we did. Oh, but the guest bedroom is so necessary for the steps. We got a good dead end. It would be better to place that. Alright, top left, +10. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on in the guest bedroom here? Let me look at this note. Sinclair, just wanted to write you a quick note thanking you for the weekend. I had a thrilling time on the hunt with Lord Evanson, whose peculiar personality somewhat made up for your own absence. I also got to appreciate your new game in the billiard room. It's been ages since I've seen the billiard room in the house. I was beginning to suspect you retired the floor plan. It was well worth the wait, though, as I always enjoy your mathematical puzzles and appreciate that I didn't need to know the rules of darts to play your variation. Sounds cluish. Maybe the billiard room is something that'll show up for us, and we'll know that the rules of the game are math-related. Oh, we got a nice little free key in here, too. Pretty cool. Don't see anything else of note in here. Let's continue this way. Oh my god, dude. Lavatory. I'm gonna shoot you in the face. We have spare room, which is new, or we have bedroom. Spare room will let us go straight ahead. It doesn't appear to have any other effects. Bedroom will let us go to the left, which could maybe turn and connect to our West Wing Hall situation. An interesting situation. Bedroom, whenever you enter this room, gain 2 steps. Very good for backtracking. It's basically a free room, whether you're going forwards or backwards. So that's pretty good. Got a little postcard here. Greetings from Reddington. Alright, nothing really to be seen with that. Look around a little bit. Nothing jumping out at me. Oh. Alright, portrait of lady with like a moon necklace. Perhaps there's some significance there. But for now, we know nothing. Let's go through the bedroom. Alright, we have 4 gems. This passageway leads in all 4 directions, but it costs 2 gems. One of these directions is pointless because it leads to a dead end, so I feel like I would not be getting my money's worth with that. Then we have the kitchen, which is food for sale. That costs a gem. We only have 5 gold, but we don't know how much food costs. Maybe it's enough for something. Or we can use the corridor, which will bring us straight ahead. And it says corridor is always left unlocked. We could try to use the corridor here to connect us to the West Wing Hall eventually. And I think I will do that because I don't really feel like spending a gem on something where I have no money to buy what's in it. Alright, nothing going on here in the corridor. That we know of. Ooh. Alright, then we have courtyard, which is unfortunately facing the wrong way. It would be nice if that led up instead of down. But it does still lead straight across. But since that exit is being squandered, the spare room serves the same purpose. With the least, or with a lesser number of entrances. And then the lavatory will not, it's a fucking STD, dude. Get it out of here. Alright, spare room's just a spare room. What do we have here? Okay, we got drawing room. That's new. That is also facing down, unfortunately. But it says you may draw new floor plans while drafting in this room, so that sounds like it functions like a reroll. The kitchen, which also leads down, that's a dead end. The nook, which also leads down, that's a dead end. Dude! Well, I mean, in order to stop too much backtracking, having to go all the way back to the right and down and to the left and up through the West Wing Hall, it makes sense to do the drawing room just so it connects. Let's get in here. Alright, there's hella pictures in this room of a lot of the same things. I don't know that you need that many pictures of stuff, man. But that's okay, dude. We've got a fireplace that doesn't work or isn't on. Nice little portrait here. Alright, drawing floor plans. Each time you click on a door, you will draw 3 floor plans, from which you must select one to draft. However, there are some items in rooms that will allow you to redraw if you do not like your initial 3 options, so there you go. Well, that just leaves going this way. Now, we don't, since we're here, we don't need this room to connect back to the West Wing Hall, necessarily. But if these options don't excite me, I could redraw. However, we could end up with options that don't lead north, which 2 of these do. And it might be worth just taking the W on that, even if they're not particularly exciting. Or maybe they are. We don't know how exciting they are until you actually go in them. Let's go ahead and do the Nook. You get another key. A journey noteworthy. As you continue on your adventure, you may want to consider getting something to scribble down your notes and observations. A pad, scrap of paper, or perhaps most fittingly a journal will prove to be an invaluable tool you will not regret having beside you on your journey. These are facts. Do not think that you're going to have elephant memory with this game. You don't. There's too much. There's way too much going on. You're going to be discovering clues piecemeal, pieced together over dozens of runs, dude. You have got to like categorize some of that stuff. Jot it down. Very important. All right, here's a bunch of new rooms. So we have bunk room. That would end our run if we put that down because we'd have nowhere else to go. We have the dining room. Each day a meal is served in the dining room after rank 8 has been reached. That rank 8 is like the amount of rooms that you draw getting north if you count down from the bottom. So like right now we are on rank 3 drafting into rank 4. So we'd have to get pretty substantially further north in order for this dining room thing to activate. Which would presumably mean that you'd have to backtrack to the dining room after that. So is that something you want to do? You'll have to decide. Or we have the dark room, which is another red room. You cannot see the floor plans while drafting in this room. So you could get burned in this room. You might accidentally draft dead ends and just end your run right there. But if you feel like gambling, you might want to take the risk. I think the safe option here is to go dining room. We don't know what a meal does necessarily yet. But presumably, you know, food gives you energy. Let's head north here. Alright, we got the mail room, we got the gymnasium. Whenever you enter gymnasium, lose 2 steps. Ooh, that's a bad one. That's like a reverse bedroom. It makes sense because you don't sleep in a gymnasium. Then you have a secret passage, which costs a gem, leads to a room of a color of your choice. So you can see that these rooms are color-coded. We've got mostly blue rooms, but then we've also got these like brown-ish rooms that seem to be hallway-related. Corridor, West Wing Hall, secret passage. And then you have bedrooms, which appear to be purple based on the fact that bedroom and guest bedroom are the purple ones. And then we drafted a green room, so we know green is a color. We know red is a color. And I believe, if I'm thinking back, we got a couple of yellow rooms that appeared to be shops. So you can use some logic to pick what kind of thing that you would want to get with the secret passage. Now, steps aren't in great supply. We still have like a lot of them. But if we have to backtrack through the gymnasium in order to get to the dining room for the meal, that's going to lose a lot of our benefit to the food, presumably. Now, we do have a way to go to the right, so we could use a dead-end room here. So the package will be delivered here the day after drafting this room. Since I'm only doing 1 day for this thing, I don't really care about that. I guess we could do gymnasium for the exits and then just kind of play around it. Like we put gymnasium here and then we don't go that way yet. Let's see what we can draft this way. Goddamn lavatory, dude. I do not want to put the lavatory there, but it would be kind of a decent place to do it. Since we have 2 different options from the gymnasium. But that guarantees that when we do reach rank 8, we'll have to come back through the gymnasium. And then go back through the gymnasium again to get back, so that's minus 4 steps. So yeah, I don't think I want to turn this into a dead end. I think I'd like to go courtyard's facing the wrong way again. So I think I want to go hallway here. Okay, we have a little memo here. Doors in the West Wing are more likely to be locked. Okay. I mean, We went through the West Wing Hall earlier, and the door was not locked, but that could just be good luck. We don't know yet. Let's head in this direction. I mean, this door's locked. Alright, rumpus room. What kind of word is that? I have never heard of a rumpus room before. It apparently means playroom. You can just see by looking at it. Looks like a Chuck E. Cheese play area. So that can go straight ahead. That'll give us 8 gold, which seems like a lot. That's more than double than what we have. And it only costs 1 gem, which we have 3 of. Or we could do Boudoir to go up more. I do feel like Rumpus Room gets us going in this direction, which is kind of nice. And then we can check out what's going on here. Pick up all that gold. Maybe some of the shops that we've been drafting might actually turn out to be worthwhile now. Alright, looking around. This thing catches my eye. Insert coin.
And, as it was foretold, I am awakened at the sound of a dropping coin. You find yourself face to face with the great Alzara.
I may have just made a deal with the devil or something.
And I suspect you wish me to look into your future. The image is becoming clear. I see a boy standing on a shore of white sand. He is looking for something. Something he was told he would not find. I see a black cat tied to a red flag. I hear the wind blowing, but the flag does not stir. I see a door marked by a rogue moon. A door that is always locked, yet has no key. It is the door you have been searching for, yet will not find. A lost room beyond the dark waters. What you have heard here has been foreseen by the great Alzara. Until the dawn of the following day, I will have nothing more to say.
Alright, little fortune teller action. I've actually never seen some of those cutscenes because I did not draft this room in my first playthrough. I never saw it, or in my first run of my main playthrough. So presumably there's stuff in that that's like clues to other puzzles or goings-on that you'd have to figure out and draw connections to. Let's keep going here. Goddamn lavatory. Bunk room. We do still have plenty of paths to go. The courtyard leads up. We are running low on gems. I don't want to spend a gem on the courtyard. Just based on the nothing that it tells me about it. So maybe we do want a dead end here, and we want to get rid of the lavatory. So it doesn't become a problem for us later. Alright. Stupid ass room. I don't even have to take a shit, dude. But I'm glad you got a full roll of, let's call it toilet paper. That material does not look soft and plushy. Okay. Well, since that ends, let's go towards the hallway here. We want to still try and avoid the gymnasium if we can. Door is locked. Good thing we have a couple of keys. Alright, Boudoir would just lead us into the gymnasium, which means we still have to go through the gymnasium. Security gives us an option to go to the right as well. We've seen security a couple times. Let's draft it. I've heard people say that this game has like a little bit of wasted potential as a horror game, and I can kind of see where they're coming from. Like something like this, but with a horror spin on it, would be really welcome to me. Alright, this says blue memos equals true, red memos equals lies. Oh, well, we found the red memo that said the doors in the west wing hallway were more likely to be locked, so apparently that is a lie. A pointless lie. To make me think about that for no reason at all. Until further notice, the antechamber has been unlocked and access levers are no longer required to grant entry. Okay, so we know that that's a lie, and we know that apparently access levers are required to grant entry. So we need to be on the lookout for those. What about this memo? This memo is blue. Keycard access security doors are more likely to appear in the higher ranks of the estate. Likewise, as a redundant security measure, normal doors in the estate will also be more likely to be locked as you progress north. Hence the need for keys. Staff notice. Effective the first week of December, payroll for all live-out and seasonal staff will be managed electronically, as your attendance will no longer be registered at morning roll call. It is doubly important that you do not fail to clock in and out at one of the electronic computer terminals on the estate. Two of these terminals can be found at security, where the punch clock used to be, and in the laboratory. Any questions or concerns regarding this process should be directed, as always, to our house manager, Mrs. Babbage. Terminal password scratched out. If I, like, take a look at that, like a close look at that, I can at least make out that the first letter is a capital S, but beyond that, your guess is as good as mine was, like, 3 weeks ago. I do like that you can see yourself kind of move around a little bit on this monitor. Chugging along at, like, 1 frame per second. We got a terminal here, let's power this baby on. Welcome to Mount Holly Security. Let's view estate inventory. No fruit, no gems, no keys, no coins. Okay, so that means we have left nothing behind on the ground in any of the rooms we've drafted. That's nice. We got a key card system. Security doors are doors within the estate that can only be unlocked with the electronic key card. It's currently operational. Let's look at the system settings. We can set the security level to low, medium, or high, which determines the amount of security doors there will be as you draft. Now, we don't have a key card, so you would think that you would want to put it at low so that we don't find doors that we know that we can't open. And then here we can change the offline mode. It says this mode determines the default setting the security doors will be set to if power is lost during a blackout, for example. So general safety rule, offline mode should be set to unlocked if any staff are working on the estate. Okay, so that's a clue. We should probably set it to offline, or to unlocked as well, since it's kind of foreshadowing that some rooms may or may not have power for whatever reason. Alright then. I mean, we don't want to enter this gymnasium, but we could take a little peek in there just to see if there's like an item on a bench or something. I'm already kind of past it, I don't care. Let's go this way. Alright, commissary. We did want a shop now that we have coins, but we're running low on gems. This will put us at 0. Potentially you could buy gems in here, but that is not a guarantee. Our other options are only dead ends. This would still force us to have to go back through the gymnasium. But the wine cellar with 3 gems, I feel like that's enough of a boon to maybe make the loss of steps worth it. Alright. You guys got any vodka down here? Got a little dirt mound right there. Alright, 3 gems. All for me. And some kind of symbol here with pictographs that as of yet mean nothing to me. Alright, let's get after it. To the gymnasium it is. Now I get to check if anything's in here. But yeah, you got that -2 steps that just popped on the left there. Heading down to 37. We started with 50, so I think as far in as we are, we're doing pretty good on steps. Oh my god, we're gonna run out of keys. We've just had, like, no opportunity to gain those. Perhaps we could buy keys at the commissary. Obviously can't do utility closet, that would end our run. Dark room. It gives us options and doesn't cost a gem, but we could still just draft ourselves into a corner up there if we don't know what we're doing. Commissary is probably the safest bet, and maybe it's got something useful to buy. Alright, red memo. Commissary will be closed from day 12 to day 16. Sorry for any inconvenience. We know that's a lie. Okay, we got with and without. With and without. This, I don't, this, it looks like wheat or corn or something. And then this picture is like a rainstorm, cloud, rain. Wait, with or without? If this is the without picture, this is rain. With. And you got the arrow leading from like the letter to the thing. I mean, this could be like grain, and then this is rain. Which is an interesting, like, vocabularic puzzle, but that does not really do anything for me at this moment. Okay. Oh my god, dude. 10 gold for 1 key? We know that the doors are more likely to be locked in the north. Your run will just end if you don't have keys. Hey! I'll finish this run, though. I'll finish this run. I'm so excited to play that, though. Alright. Shovel. We did see a dirt mound in the wine cellar. Could be useful. I think the key is the most necessary thing that we need to buy. And I would not be surprised if we had to use it right here. Oh, we don't. Nice. Alright, boudoir, workshop, or nursery. Boudoir would lead us more north, gets us closer to rank 8 for the dining room. A workshop, combine inventory to create new items. Do I even have anything in my inventory? I have running shoes. And then nursery is obviously a dead end, so we can't do that. But whatever you draft the bedroom, gain 5 steps. That's a very useful effect. If we had a good spot to put that. I would say workshop. I do want to head more to the right, so maybe we can start going down where we have this big gap going on. Let's do workshop. Oh, and we run into a security door. God damn it, we have no key card. Will there be a way through that? We have a sledgehammer, which lets us shatter padlocks on locked trunks. Haven't seen any of those. And we got some stuff here. We've got an A carved in stone here. And then we have a sheet of music that says 8, so page 8. Stones cut by hand and letters wrought do spell our secrets card from thought. A message read is of messages in bold. A message read is often lost among the bold words spoken soft. Oh, yeah, among the bold words. The note is read, the letter is not. Hi, Riku, you trying to play some blueprints? Oh, you don't have to meow at me, that's fine. Okay, so we see that message is in bold. And this is page 8, so that is presumably a kind of message. Perhaps we have to find these other sheets of music. And then this would be an example of where I would put, like, in my notes, stone A or something. And then, like, bold message, sheet music, whatever thing. Like, just categorize it in your head somehow. Alright, so can we make an item with sledgehammer and running shoes? No? Alright, then. And then this security door is locked by electronic keycard. And there is now nothing I can do about that. We have drafted ourselves into a corner. It's the first day it's going to happen. And Riku's upset with it as well. That's just the thing, dude. That's when you would call it a day, unless there was anything that you thought you missed going back. Which nothing would jump out at me there. So that would be a situation where you just got unlucky. It happens. And okay, at that point, if you can't progress any further, call it a day, start the next day fresh. We made an ordinary villa. Wow, our run was that uninteresting that that's what they decided to call it. 25 rooms. We reached rank 6. 28 steps taken. I had so many steps left. It feels like such a waste when that happens. And we found 2 items. Alright, man. I mean, that's day 1. That is Blueprints in a nutshell, basically. I just wanted to show this game off more. It's so good. And the puzzles get so deep, and it's so mysterious, and it's so hard, too. Like, you're not even ready for this. You might think that you are, but you're not. So, anyway, I hope people enjoyed. Give it a shout, or give it a chance. It's on PS Plus free and Game Pass free right now. Or you can buy it for, I don't know how much it is actually, but whatever the price is, it's worth it. But that's going to do it for this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.